It's officially 190 days since I left Philippines and came here to America. It's been 160 days since I came back from Washington. Man, time goes by really quick. Hi everybody, I'm Ikes. I am 31 years old. I am in a long distance relationship with Jaslyn Morales, Jazzy. She is 34 and she is born in October 25, 1985, 83. Ah, darn, she's gonna kill me. She's the year of the pig, okay? And I am born May 9, 1988. I am Year of the Dragon, and she's Year of the Pig. And we met on Smule. We love to sing, and I was a member of this so-called group called ANP, Awit ng Pilipino. That's how we met. She was one of the team leaders or group leaders, and we started being friends, and later down the road became best friends, and unexpectedly we became more than that. But do believe it was never in our plan to be more than friends. I was very, very firm. At the time, I didn't want to be more than friends, and she also, she didn't want to at the time either. We never even thought about it, to not even want to, like if it did cross our mind, we both didn't want to, and we both didn't really, think about it until later down the road when a lot of things was happening. What do I love about her? Well, one, she's my best friend. She knows me very well. She knows everything about me. It's crazy how you can have this deep connection with somebody even though they're so far away from you, and you only spend, as much as you can because of the time difference communicating to each other. Whether it be through on phone call or on video call or through chatting, texting. And she's been very much a part of my journey in my life from the time that I started to do traveling as a career. Those of you who don't know, I am a surgical tech. I do surgeries. I help surgeons do surgeries. I travel like nurses, like travel nurses. My profession also does traveling, so it has opened the doors for me to travel wherever I want to go. And she's been very much, very much hand in hand, with me in everything, wherever I go, whatever I'm doing. We always are on the phone, we're always talking, and everything that's happened in my life that is truly, heartbreaking or, unfortunate challenges that really made me cry. She's been my rock. She's been my fortress, and honestly, she's been the only one person that has kept me strong throughout all the challenges in my life, wherever I'm at, whoever I'm talking to, whoever I'm around, whoever, it doesn't matter what kind of people I'm with, where I'm at. It doesn't matter that we're both far away from each other physically. She's been very much a very deep part of my life in transforming and changing for the better and improving in a lot of things in regards to, self-observation, in regards to self-improvement and self-awareness in a lot of things in my life and things that are around me, whether that be focusing on material prosperity, material wealth, material gain, or spirituality. Very much so. I do believe that we are very much spiritual beings. In regards to spirituality, we are very much soulmates. A lot of people will not understand if I say twin flames, but if you watch, tarot cards on YouTube, or, go in more deeper depth what soulmates are, everybody would understand what soulmates are, but not many people understand what twin flames are. We're very much twin flame soulmates. A lot has been proven in regards to that. A lot has happened in my life that has proven that. A lot has happened to her. A lot has happened to us, being twin flame soulmates. So, with that being said, I wanted to dedicate vlogging how I feel and my, throughout the coming days while we are in separation right now. If I haven't mentioned, she's in the Philippines. She lives at Rojas City, Capiz, Loctugan. I live here in Las Vegas, Nevada, United States of America. I am born here in America. I am raised here in America. It's truly an honor and a blessing to say that, because I have lived in the Philippines 1 year when I was a child. When I was 9 years old, I lived with my dad's side of the family, and they're very poor. They live in Quezon City, Manila, in Commonwealth. And I lived there for 1 year when I was 8 years old, and then I came back here with my brother. At the time, my brother was only 1 year, not even 1 year old. He was a baby. Oh, I'm sorry. He was 1 year old. Yes, it was only 1 year when they left us. So, yeah, my parents decided to leave us in the Philippines when I was 8, and my brother was a baby. Because of financial crisis at the time. We all lived in Florida, in Orlando, Florida, when I was, I believe, 5 to 8. We lived in Miami and Orlando, Florida. And my parents were, having a hard time making money, to have financial stability. So my parents decided to, bring me and my brother to the Philippines and stay there. So within that time, being away from my mom, my dad, I grew up, for 1 whole year in Philippine culture and how kids are raised in the Philippines. I've witnessed young kids hand washing their clothes using a bucket. When here in America, you don't see that. Here in America, everything is machine washed. There's no need to do things like that. There's no need to make things harder for ourselves, because there's a lot of appliances and accessories that's always available, and it's not as expensive to purchase, because it's America. You know, it's the land of the free, and you know, everybody has freedom here, and you know, it's not hard, especially even if you're working minimum wage here in America. You can still have many opportunities available, you know, if we are comparing it to, you know, Philippines is totally different in regards to you know, financial struggles and opportunities for financial growth. It's very limited. Even those who graduate a degree or have a degree, who are professional people, it's hard to even get a job in the Philippines. So you have to also consider age discrimination in the Philippines. It's very much active. I think it's between they will only hire you if you are from the age of 16 years old up to 27, and they don't hire you if you're after 27 years old. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do know there is age discrimination in the Philippines. For one whole year, when I was 8 years old, I stayed in the Philippines with my dad's side of the family, and I went to school. I went to a private Catholic school. Everything, you know, going to a private Catholic school, and I wasn't Catholic. Just FYI, I was not Catholic. I was born as Iglesia Ni Cristo, Church of Christ. Yes, the big, huge church in the Philippines that you see that looks like a castle. Yeah, and it says there Iglesia Ni Cristo, and the colors are red, white, and green. That's the church that I was born in, and that's the church that I grew up in, and I was a choir member at the time, and I was baptized inside the church, and I still went to a private Catholic school. I went to a private Catholic school at the age of 8, and I left at the age of 9, and went back here to America. At the age of 8 years old, I was learning how to read in Tagalog. I was learning how to, you know, write in Tagalog. But ever since then, my mom, my dad would always talk to me in Tagalog, and they would always talk in Tagalog at home. So, you know, hearing it and speaking it, I already knew. I was very much, you know, aware, you know, what does this word mean? What does that mean? So I knew how to talk. I knew how to speak in Tagalog ever since I was 8 years old. But I did not know how to read and how to write in Tagalog at the age of 8. So having gone to private Catholic school at the age of 8, it taught me to, you know, read and write, you know, in Tagalog. And it was okay, because it was a good thing, because everybody at school, they thought I don't know how to speak Tagalog. You know, but I do. I did, you know, and that's a big point. It's a big point, because usually they make fun of you if you don't know how to speak in Tagalog, and they say all these, you know, bully words, you know, like, oh, taba niya, you know, ganyan, oh, puti niya, you know, para siyang, you know, ganyan, right? Like, you when you're new to a place, like, you know, of course, people are like, you feel alienated, you know, you feel like you're a complete alien, because, you know, your skin color is different, the texture of your skin is different, compared to theirs. You know, they're more darker skinned, and I've been told many times, even from my twin, my soulmate, even from Jazz, you know, when we first met in the airport, she told me that, you know, I look light skinned, more lighter skinned than a white American, like a real white American, you know, light skinned American. I'm more lighter than that, compared to that. But yeah, because I'm Asian, you know, my dad is Filipino and has Spanish blood. All Filipinos have Spanish blood. Believe it or not, yeah, we have Spanish blood. We all came from Spain, okay? And, you know, our ancestors came from Spain. Look up history, okay? So we're the hybrids of the Spaniards. Just say it like that, okay? So my dad is, you know, Filipino, and my mom is a quarter Chinese and Filipino, because my grandfather is Chinese, 100% Chinese, and my grandmother is also Chinese and, you know, Filipino. So yeah, that's about a little bit about, you know, my family background. My brother is born in October 12, 1996. He is Year of the Rat, and he is 6 foot tall. I think he's 5'8". I don't know. He's really tall. I'm only 5'5". My driver's license, I have 5'2", but I'm really 5. What else? A little bit about my professional career. At the age of 28, I decided to pursue surgical tech program. It's brutal. It was very hard because it's a fast-paced private school. At the time, I was working full-time as well, you know, making minimum wage. I was working 2 jobs. I was working, you know, part-time each job and switching, and, you know, and going to school as a full-time student. And lucky enough that here in America there is financial aid to assist, you know, if you cannot afford to put yourself to school. Everything here is available. So at the time I was with my ex, who currently is my ex right now. We have been together for 8 years. She is born on October 7, 1990. She's Year of the Horse, and yeah, we've been together for 8 years, and at the time, we were on and off, you know. So, I went to school, and that's when we broke up. I focused on school, that's it. I focused on school, and then after a few months, during halfway through, you know, my education, pursuing my education, I was in a relationship, a long distance relationship with, those of you who probably don't know this, my FOSS twin. She's my FOSS twin. You know, twin flames, you have a FOSS twin. Yeah, she was my FOSS twin. At the time, this was around June, July, around June, July. That is when we met online. She also loves to sing. I love to sing, and we met through there. She was just like, oh, you know, can you be my boyfriend? This and that, and just like, what? You know, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. So, you know, we were in a long distance relationship, and it didn't last long. We only lasted up to, I believe, 8 months or 7 months, 8 to 7 months, around there, almost a year. I graduated, and yeah, this is my professional career. I help surgeons in surgeries. I, at times, stitch patients. Surgeons who taught me. I have surgeons who taught me how to do a lot of things. I have 2 letter recommendations from top surgeons in America. It has been a privilege for me to actually work, one-on-one with top surgeons. And I say that because at the time, after graduating here in Nevada, the opportunity for me to even step into the field of my profession was not available for me. The opportunity was not available because a lot of companies, a lot of hospitals here in Nevada, they only want people who are already experienced, okay? And I was just, I was fresh out of school, and, so the opportunity was not available for me. I decided to apply elsewhere. And at the time, my ex and I got back together. So, when I broke up with my FOSS twin, my karmic partner, my karmic soulmate that I've been with for 8 years, and karmic soulmates do exist. And I have witnessed this because I know about it. So I've read about it, I know a lot about it, and it has proven in my relationship what my relationship is with certain people. So I've had the time, to look into a lot of it, ever since me and my twin soulmate are together, in a relationship. Again, self-awareness and spirituality and things like that, and not just material things, I've been fully aware of a lot. So it has helped me to gain a lot of wisdom, a lot of knowledge, in regards to learning from my past and things like that. My long distance relationship with my FOSS twin, who is in Norway. She's also Filipino, but she's in Norway, and she's born October 25, 1986. Okay? She's Year of the Tiger. No. She's my FOSS twin. Now, my my true twin flame is born October 25, 1980. Is she gonna kill me again? 1984? No, 1985. Sorry, my heart, my love. So that, okay. We broke up, and then I went back with my ex right now, my ex karmic soulmate that I've been with for 8 years. We went back together, and then I decided, to apply in another state. So I decided to apply in Utah. Keep note, I did not know that Utah is a Mormon state. To me, it didn't matter, nada. It's okay. But after, that's when I realized, oops, this was a big mistake coming here. Yeah, okay. I am not a hater. I am not, discriminating anything. It's just the culture is very, very different. That is it. That's all I'm emphasizing. The culture is different. The social culture is different. It's rare, hardly any diversity in Utah, okay? I'm saying that right now. hardly, very, very rare to even have diversity in Utah. Okay, a lot of people who are in Utah, 90% have stayed in Utah. They've grown there, they've grew up there, they lived there for a long, long time, and they're there, you know. That's their territory. It's like, and you're gonna feel that, you're really gonna feel that. It doesn't matter what race you are. And you know, if you're from Utah, you know, that's awesome. You know, I did enjoy, you know, my stay in Utah some days, but there were some days where it's like you go to a store and you have people looking at you like weird. I had a neighbor who was a racist. Yeah, when my ex karmic soulmate that I've been with for 8 years, we decided to move into a modern apartment. She's also a nurse. She graduated with a bachelor degree in nursing, and I was fresh out of college. I graduated also, and you know, I got an offer at Utah Valley Hospital, which was very newly built, and they were just starting. And Utah Valley Hospital, basically Utah Hospital, is very much majority, their top hospitals are connected with Intermountain Healthcare. Intermountain Healthcare, if all of you do not know, is sponsored by President Obama. President Obama sponsored Intermountain Healthcare because of the fact of their, you know, their service. A lot of top surgeons are in Intermountain Healthcare. So, with that being said, I was given the opportunity to be employed with Intermountain Healthcare, which is one of the top 50 healthcare. Well, to be specific, it's one of the top 10 here in America. Okay, I was hired by one of the top 10 healthcare here in the United States of America. I was my ex karmic soulmate. We both decided to, you know, live together, to actually live in, because you don't really know a person until you actually live together, correct? And at the time, we were thinking that, oh, we've been together for, you know, 7 years. Why not? You know, why not move together and see how it goes? You know, so we did that. And, yeah, we learned from each other. There was a lot of fights as well, a lot of fights. I mean, even with the 8 years combined, we would always fight. You know, it was just a toxic relationship. I'm not saying that it's always toxic. I'm just saying that 80 to 90%, it was really toxic. Like, you know, we would argue about petty things, about stupid things, like, you know, like, where are we gonna eat, or, you know, why do you want to eat that, or like, why are you wearing that? Like, you know, there was no respect in regards to what we prefer, you know. And every time I had an issue come up, instead of her comforting or supporting, she would be the one who would bring up her issue, and it was just a conflict of giving and taking. It was a conflict of taking turns, you know, and giving and receiving, and that caused a huge, you know, problem in our relationship. And that is why it's called karmic, and that is why it's called soulmate, because a soulmate is somebody that you do have a soul connection, and very much so I do have a soul connection with my karmic partner. Even though we had a toxic relationship, I still wanted, you know, to end our relationship as a family, as just that love for a family, and I still do. I Up till this day, I still have love for her as a family. You know, it's more than a friend. It's more than an acquaintance. It's more than an ex-partner that you have experienced everything with. No, I love her deeply, unconditionally, as a family. You know, she may not feel the same toward me, I don't know, but we stopped talking. So, but with that being said, you know, that is why I'm saying she's my soulmate as well, because you're not gonna last that long if that person is not a soulmate, regardless. Yes, you do have to, you know, weigh, is this person a karmic, you know, and most definitely she is a karmic soulmate in my life, okay? Now, with that being said, we lived there for 1 year, and honestly, it was a huge culture shock. I'm gonna say this right off the bat. There is rarely any diversity in Utah. And please, those of you who are from Utah, I am not discriminating. I'm not judging anybody. I live there. I have friends there. I've, you know, you know, I work there, okay, in the medical field. So, you know, honestly, I'm explaining the culture, the different culture there in regards to social culture. It's very, very different. I'm used to here in Las Vegas where everything's open 24 hours, and, you know, there's a huge diversity here in regards to nationality. So there's, you know, it's not hard to appreciate. It's not hard to, you know, feel comfortable in communicating with others, you know, because the culture here in Las Vegas is very, very diverse. It's so diverse, and I'm so used to that. Like, in Utah, it's different. Like, every time my you know, karmic soulmate, we would go to grocery shop, honestly, there would be people who would look at us like that. And then there would be people that would just, you know, like, just stare like that. Like, they're just, it's like they're not used to seeing Asian. I don't think. But I believe it or not, I was the only Asian person in the operating room. It was that rare, okay? In regards to what kind of field in the hospital, because I'm a surgical tech, yeah. So in the hospital as a surgical tech, I'm in the operating rooms. You know, we do surgeries. So being in the operating room, I was the only Asian. I'm gonna say that right now. The only Asian, okay? There was only one Asian doctor, only one Asian surgeon. That's it. Really, that's it. It's rare. That's what I'm saying. It's rare. I mean, I'm not stereotyping anything, but when you're not used to something, you're not, the people around you is not used to seeing, you know, or talking, because Asians talk differently. How Asians talk is different compared to how, you know, African Americans talk. It's different compared to how Indians talk. It's different. You guys get what I'm saying here? I'm not discriminating. I'm not judging. I'm just saying the facts, okay? This is the truth. There is a huge stagnant culture in regards to social culture, social society in Utah. It's limited. So, you know, and then you go to the politics of it all. You know, having worked in that hospital, there was a lot of politics I didn't like. It's like, oh, if you're not Mormon, then you're not, you know. And then you have gay people who are Mormon, so they're like sacrificing themselves to not be in a relationship with anybody. So therefore, they see you and you're just, you know, you're open to anything. And that's really who I am. I'm open to anything. You know, yeah, I'm religious, I'm Christian, but doesn't matter. I'm still gay. And, you know, I deserve happiness just like everybody deserves happiness, and I'm not gonna allow anybody to tell me how to live my life. Everybody could debate otherwise. But that was my life at the time. You know, I was leaning on and depending on my, you know, karmic soulmate. We both were depending on each other. There were times that we missed our family. There were times that, you know, being in Utah made us feel lonely. And we learned to lean on each other, you know, emotionally and mentally. The only time that it stopped where I mean, when this happened, and I'm saying this right now, there was an incident that happened within that year, and it was physical abuse, okay? My karmic soulmate and I had physical abuse at the time. You know, I don't want to go in detail about it for the sake of the fact that, you know, my love for her, I still do love her as a family, and I want others to respect that. You know, there are things in our life that we cannot control. There are things in our life that happen because it's meant to happen, and there are things that we cannot prevent from happening because there are things we can't control, okay? It doesn't mean that, you know, you physically hurt somebody, or you know, unfortunate things happen, you treated someone like that, or you said harsh words like that. It doesn't mean that the love was not there. It was there. It's just, it was that incident that basically triggered me to, you know, wake up in a way where, like, no, I cannot be in this kind of relationship, you know? And that was what forced me to pull away. And that's when I decided, you know, I talked with my karmic soulmate, and we both decided to move back here in Las Vegas. You know, we got a U-Haul truck, everything that we invested on, everything that we bought, you know, we put it all back in the truck, and I was the one mainly doing everything because she's a girly girl. I mean, she's not girly, but she's a girl, you know. And I'm come on, I'm like the man in the relationship, so of course I'm the one mostly doing everything. And I was hauling, you know, my car. I had a 3 Series BMW Coupe 2-door at the time that was dysfunctional because I didn't have enough money to save to fix it. So, you know, I still didn't want, of course, you can't just leave it out of nowhere. And, you know, my karmic soulmate was the one paying for my insurance. She was paying for everything. I was paying for the rent, mainly. So we were taking turns. You know, it was equal give and take. It was equal give and receive, even though it's a karmic relationship. You know, again, it varies. Everybody who's in a karmic relationship, it varies. But because of the fact that she's also my soulmate, who is intended to be only my karmic soulmate, everything in regards to give and receive was very much equal in regards to, you know, that part, okay? There was no toxicity in regards to giving and receiving. There was no selfishness. There was, you know, there's a little bit of just like, well, why don't you pay? Because, you know, you have money. We decided to move back here in Las Vegas, and then that's when things started to go slow separating, and I took the initiative, you know, to separate. And it was hard because you can decide to separate from someone that you that you've been in a relationship with for 8 years. 8 years. And that 1 year, you depended on each other, you relied on each other, you know, you comforted each other, you consoled each other in times of sadness, loneliness, hardships, and challenges. You both, basically was like a married couple, you know, for that 1 year. It's not easy. It's not easy to separate from someone that you've invested so much time and so much of your energy, so much of your your heart, your soul into the relationship. It just, you didn't want it to go sour, but again, it's meant to be the way it is, okay? Things happen because it's meant to be that way. So at the time, I was just done with it. I didn't want to lose what was left with my karmic soulmate. And that is what was left for me toward her was respect. That was the only thing left. And with that respect, I didn't want to lose that because I lost the love of more than a friend, the love of a partner. Your partner, the sweetness, the spark, the fire, it just wasn't there. It wasn't there anymore. And it's like there was more times that I put all my anger at her, I put all my frustration at her, and now looking at it, it's so unfair. But see, it was meant to happen that way for me to realize that this was really a toxic relationship, and it took so long for me to learn and accept it, because a lot of people, they don't leave toxic relationships not because they don't want to. They want to, they know it's best for them, but they don't leave toxic relationship because it's based out of fear of being alone, fear of, oh, what if I don't meet somebody, or oh my god, I'm gonna have to start all over again and introduce myself to somebody and build a relationship with someone. There's a lot of people who don't leave toxic relationships because of that, because they're afraid to start over again. They're afraid to start new. They're afraid to leave. They're afraid to be left behind. And that causes depression, that causes heartbreak. And they're afraid to go through the depression. They're afraid to go through the heartache. And it took me time to learn to depend on myself. And I'll be honest with you guys. At this moment in time, this is when my true twin came in my life. And we were friends. And, she helped me through the process of, solving issues with my karmic soulmate. And my karmic soulmate very much was friends with her as well. So they would exchange communication every now and then. So, and hopefully true twin flames who watch this, you'll learn something from it, okay? My true twin, she actually knew the problems that my ex-karmic soulmate and I was going through. And she wanted to help, because to her, sincerely in her heart, to her, 8 years is a waste if you're not going to, do your best to make it work, right? So she tried to, intensify our physical tension, as partners, me and my karmic soulmate, because again, the sweetness, the spark, the fire was gone, okay? So my true twin was, advising her, helping her how to, like, put the spark back again. And it did. It worked for a night. But after that, came back to how it was, and that's when I talked with my true twin, and I told her, you know what, I appreciate what you're doing. I found out that you both talk together, this and that, and I told my true twin, just please stop, like, just respect what I feel, respect my decision. I don't want to be with her anymore. I want us, to move on. I want to move on because it's not healthy anymore. Our relationship is not healthy, and honestly, I'm gonna regret for the rest of my life if I don't leave this relationship. I'm gonna regret it if I stay in this 8-year toxic relationship. I want to move on, okay? And my true twin respected that, and she helped us both, to move on. And then after that, after moving on, there was a lot of jealousy in regards to my karmic soulmate and my true twin, who was my best friend at the time. My karmic soulmate came here in the house, and we talked, and she said to me, sorry guys, I'm gonna drink water. She said to me, it's so sad how you would talk to Jazz. And Jazz, you guys know Jazz is my true twin. We are in union as twin flames and twin flame soulmates. Anyway, to those of you who just don't know that, I just wanted to say that. So she says, well, you're talking to Jazz and you're telling her everything. How come you don't tell me all those things? We've been together for 8 years, and you don't open up to me like you open up to her. And then I tell her, and we were drinking, okay? I was a bit tipsy. And when you're tipsy, you really, you don't hold back, You say everything. So I told her, I said, well, she's my best friend. That's why I tell her everything. She's my best friend. And then she says, aren't I your best friend too? We've been together for 8 years. Aren't I your best friend too? And that broke my heart. Again, a karmic soulmate is to teach you. And there is no animosity. Yes, you're doing things, harsh toward each other, but really, it's to teach you. And at that moment in time, I was having empathy and sympathy in regards to this situation. And I was heartbroken when she said that to me, because it's true. It's true. In that 8-year relationship, yeah, we weren't just lovers. We were best friends. We leaned on each other. We comforted each other. We fought together, but we made up together. In a lot of things. And I told her, I said, yeah, but it changed. I told her, you're right, but it changed. There are many times I can't even open up to you anymore. I can't talk to you anymore, because every time I open up to you, it's like you have your own problem going on. And, where's the equal give and receive? It's not equal anymore. It's not fair anymore. And I can't be in a relationship like that. Like, it's unhealthy, it's toxic, and you know it. And, it's hard to accept, yes, but we're mature adults now. We've grown. We've lived together. We've fought bricks and bones, and ate together, everything. Like, honestly, It's not easy. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's not easy. It's not easy to just leave. Okay, either you leave in a peaceful way with closing everything in a peaceful way, because that's how it should be done, so that you don't get karmic, so that you don't get karma for, you're closing the karmic relationship, you're closing whatever it be, your karmic soulmate, what, in a very loving, peaceful way, and there's no fakeness. And I'm saying this right now, there's a lot of people who do that. They break up with fakeness, okay? Pure fakeness. Like, just to show everybody, or show their friends, show their family that, oh yeah, everything's fine, we're good, we're breaking up now, and we talked about it, and we're okay, we're still friends. But deep in your heart, you cannot sit down with this person and talk, genuinely. You're afraid to open your heart again to this person. No, if that's how you feel when you break up with a karmic soulmate, then most definitely you did it wrong. And you're gonna repeat it again. You're gonna have another karmic soulmate come in your life. Good luck to that. Okay? You have to do it correctly. So, when my karmic soulmate and I were talking about this, she mentioned to me, she's just opening up to me all that she's feeling, everything. And she said to me how she felt, the 8 years that we stayed together. And then she said, this is the most saddest love story ever. This is the most sad ever. And she tried to make up for everything. She tried to bring it back, and she opened up to me and told me everything that she never told me before, just to get me back. But the problem is, it's like, man, now you tell me that. Now you tell me when it's too late. Now you tell me all those things when there is no love for that kind of love that I had for you at the time. When I had that love for you at the time, that is when you should have told me those things. But now you're telling me that when it's done, when as much as I want to give you that kind of love as a partner, I can't, because it's just not there. If I stay in this relationship, I will be dishonest with myself. And what good will that be for both of us, right? Would you, and I told her this, would you want to be with someone who is not 100% in it for you? And would it be healthy for me to force myself to be in this relationship not 100%? Like, it should be equal, it should be mutual. And that's just explaining the deeper part of my karmic soulmate, the deeper relationship I have with her. And later down the road, when me and my twin, decided to be together, that was when, I've awakened to the fact that she is very much my karmic soulmate, because we've been together in our past lives, and, she's very much connected to me and my twin, and in our past lives, because my twin had dreams of her and me, and had dreams of me and her and my karmic soulmate. So, dreams are also God talking to you. Dreams are also, ways of angels letting you know things. And, apart from your spiritual gifts, if you are a spiritual person, most likely if you're a twin flame, you're a spiritual person. So, with that being said, my relationship with my karmic soulmate, it came to an end. But it was sad. It was very, very sad. There was times where, I decided to move to Washington and do the traveling, right? Because I'm a travel surgical tech. So I travel, and she followed me to Washington. My karmic soulmate literally flew to Washington three times to run after me, to try again, to bring back what was lost. And she would tell me she missed me so much, and she missed me to the point where it beyond words. And I knew how that felt like. Because I felt that before. It's like you have empathy for your karmic soulmate. You have love. It's nothing but unconditional love. And that is the only way that you will attract a soulmate in your life. A twin flame, and but really your twin flame is not going to come after a karmic soulmate. It's just not. Unless you met your false twin, that's a whole different story. With what happened to me, then yes, that is your twin, okay? Mine happened, it's such a small gap where, my karmic and then my false twin, and now I'm with my twin, But if you are at this point where it's really a different situation, different scenario. But anyway, not so much about that. I wanted to share more about, personally, a little bit about me, my relationships, and everything. So yeah, she came to Washington 3 times to try to convince me to make this work, to work it out. And the last time we met, I just said to her, we were laying in bed and I held her, and nothing sexual happened, nothing, we just laid in bed, and she was laying down here, and I was holding her hand, and we were talking, and I said to her, I'll always love you. I'll always love you. I'll always have respect for you. I'll always look back in our past and be grateful for everything. It's sad, it's unfortunate that it ended this way. We both planned to get married, and I was about to buy that ring. I was about to buy the ring. I was at the store, and I spoke to a person, and I saw this beautiful diamond ring, and I said, man, I wanna propose. And it was to the point where I messaged her aunt, and I told her aunt, I'm going to propose. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen because all those things that happened after me wanting that ring, I just had these doubts. And when you have doubts, you don't go through it. You just don't. You don't. Because it's telling you you're not 100, you're not in 100% with this person. And you need time to think. You need time to just, sit back and, figure out what really you're feeling in your heart. And at that time, I was conflicted. I'll be honest. It was heartbreaking for me to realize that this person that, from the first year that we met, the very first year that we met, we had so much happening in our life. It was like a fast forward in our life. It was only meant for us both to teach each other something. Our first year that we met, I moved on. I moved out from my parents' house because growing up as a Christian, my parents didn't and was not open to same-sex relationships, okay? And when they found out, when they witnessed me and my karmic soulmate kissing in the back seat of her car, literally followed us and saw us kissing in the car. After that, my karmic soulmate drove home to her house, and I was in my house, and my parents basically gave me the whole chili, okay? Hot and spicy chili. At that moment, I decided to move out. My dad told me, I'm giving you 2 weeks to get a job. Get out of my house. Believe it or not, within those 2 weeks that I was getting kicked out of the house, okay, disowned by my family, and this has happened many times. This is not just this time. I'm just saying this time because I'm telling you guys my story. So in 2 weeks, my dad was like, I'm giving you 2 weeks to pack your stuff, get a job. I don't care if you don't have a job. 2 weeks, you're leaving. you're leaving. I want you out of my house. 2 weeks. I don't care if you don't have a job. I'm giving you 2 weeks. And that's exactly how he said it. Okay. So I was scared at the time. I didn't know how to deal with it. And I was just like, wow, we're back to this again. We're back to kicking me out. Why? Because I'm gay? Is it because I'm gay? Or is it because you feel like I committed a sin, or, this and that, and, all the thoughts in my mind. And so I started applying for jobs. I applied at Walgreens at the time. And I was calling. I had a list. I went to Google and I typed there Walgreens Las Vegas, and then a whole list of Walgreens started coming down. And I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I have a car. I have a car, and that's important. As long as I have a car. Okay? I could sleep in my car. It doesn't matter. I can go to the gym and take a shower. It's okay. So I was like, okay, I have a car. It's okay. It doesn't matter how far it is. I'll grab and go. So I had a list of Walgreens stores, and I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna call each one. There was no order. There was no order of how close this is or how far it is. It didn't matter, okay? Because I was thinking in my head, I only have 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get a job. And I need to get my paycheck. That's what I'm thinking. So, I followed that list. I called every store. I called a total of 15 to 20 stores that one day. One day. And I was asking them, I said, you know what? I want to check in, on my application that I just processed, this and that. Until one store, I talked to the manager, and the manager was like, okay, I want to do an interview with you. Come here at this time, at this day. I went there, and he asked me, he says, why do you want to work here at Walgreens? The truth. That's what he said. He said, I'm not gonna, I just want to know the truth. Why do you want to work here? Why do you want to work at Walgreens? I cried to him. I literally cried, and I said, I need it. I need to survive. Because my dad's gonna kick me out in 2 weeks, and I need the money. I'm desperate. I literally begged him to hire me. And he said to me, you're hired. I really appreciate your honesty, You're hired, but I'm going to be honest with you. I cannot give you a lot of hours. I'm limited. You can look for other stores to give you hours, but for now, this is as much as I can give you. I hugged him and I started work the next day. And then after that, I was calling again. I was calling a whole list of stores. So really, I was that whole 1 week. I was grinding, like I was grinding that whole week. Okay, and I called one store. It's so far away. It was like in Henderson. If you guys don't know Las Vegas, Henderson is like very far. You know, it's in the other side of town. If you look at it, this is Las Vegas. This is Las Vegas Strip. Okay, and then this is North Las Vegas, like Cheyenne and Craig, and then this is Henderson, and then in the back is Summerlin. You guys, you know, I'm just giving you guys an explanation how far things are. So I was like, okay, Henderson. I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. I have a car. I have a car. Okay, I could do this. So it took me literally, I believe, a month to save. No, it took me 2 weeks. I left the house in 2 weeks. My karmic soulmate helped me put a down payment on a room for rent at the time, and the room for rent at the time was $350. Okay, so I got that rent, I got that room, and then I was working, you know, trying to make more money. And honestly, it was hard because there was no hours available. Like sometimes my first paycheck, I remember, honestly, it was legit 300. I was short $50. I didn't even have money for food. I didn't have money for grocery. So I was depending on my karmic soulmate at the time, at least for food, for grocery, you know, for that's it, you know. And she never left me. Why am I sharing this? Because this is the kind of relationship that I had with her. How can you not have that love for somebody? Even though, yeah, it turned out sour, it turned out wrong. She never left me. She was always there for me. She helped me every step of the way, and I never forgot that. I have never forgotten that, and I will never forget it because I will always be grateful toward her. Okay? No, with this happening, we never had an issue in regards to, I want to clarify this. I am not a disloyal partner. I am not a cheater. I am not a person who plays with your feelings. For 8 years, I have been loyal. I have never, ever, ever been disloyal. Okay? Ever. I've never disrespected her. If we have fights, you know, you can't prevent certain words from coming out. But in regards to cheating, in regards to playing with your feelings and hopping to a next person, no. I'm not like that. I'm saying that right now. I'm not like that. A lot of people are like that. I'm not like that. You know, I don't need that. I don't spend time with people who are cheaters, people who play with people's feelings, people who just want sex and bounce here and there and use you. I have no respect for people like that. And I just need to say that right now. I don't have any respect for people who cheat, who lie, who do shit like that. It's a shame. You need to grow up, really. You're not getting any younger, and honestly, you're gonna grow old alone if you keep doing that. Karma's gonna hit you, it's gonna bite you, and you're gonna be alone. You're gonna be alone. So, that being said, yeah, that's the kind of relationship I had with my karmic soulmate. And then, yeah, so in the next video, sorry, it's like an hour. In the next video, I'm gonna talk about me and my twin, how my soulmate and I, my twin soulmate and I, moved forward to have this relationship and how it happened and what happened in the process of all this. So I love you guys. Thank you to all my subscribers. I thought to share this, and also I wanted to vlog because, you know, it's hard. It's really hard to be away from the person that you love, and so this is how I will find comfort, and you know, and also I'm not gonna be doing anyone any satisfaction if I don't share my story and I don't share my truth. And you know, this is my truth, this is my story, and this is our story. And we started from a very pure friendship, a very pure, holy friendship that we both don't want to stain. And we were both mature adults, even though I was with karmic soulmate, you know, very much mature in regards to how the right way to do certain things, and this and that. And you know, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of planning, a lot of, you know, a lot of growth to learn to be aware, to learn to make sacrifices, you know, and grow and mature, because that's why we're here. That's really why we're here, is to learn, you know, to learn. Of course, every person's love story, every person's journey is different, every person's life is different, but we all can learn from each other. And you know, this is also for those of you who've known me, and you don't really know deep my story, what happened in my life. So yeah, this is my story, and me and my twin soulmate will get married. My plan is next year, or 2 years from now. That's my plan. But we'll see. We'll wait. It might take more, depending on how I progress, you know, in everything. Because right now, everything is at a pause. I am here in Las Vegas as an assistant manager in Subway, working graveyard. And I'm enjoying it, really. I really am. You know, I just don't want to work more than 3 days. I don't want to work more than 3 days. Uh, so, you know, everything's at a pause right now. And my parents are getting a divorce. So, and this house we live in, is in the market for sale. So it all depends, what happens. If this house gets sold, then of course everybody gets a cut from the house. You know, I get $5,000, you know, if this house gets sold, and my brother also gets $5,000. And you know, my parents split the money and they go their separate ways because they're having a divorce. So when this happens, then you know, it'll be beneficial for everybody, you know. And I'm only saying this because I want you guys to know me, I want you guys to know my situation, and I want you guys to, you know, to know me in a deeper way, because you guys deserve it. And honestly, I love you guys, all my subscribers, those of you that have been emailing me, you know, wanting to know a little bit more about me and my life and my twin, my soulmate. This is it. This is my story. This is how it started. That was only a skip through. I basically skipped through the important parts of my life, and that's that. Okay. So yeah, so if this house gets sold, then then I'll go back to traveling and this and that, or it all depends. I might just save money and do the traveling again. It all varies. At this point in time, it's so hard being away from the person that you love, and especially in holidays. December is in the corner. New Year's is just around the corner. It's already going to be August. It's already August, and then it's September, October, November, December, January. I mean, time flies by so quickly, and I don't want to waste time. At the same time, I want to see her. I want to see my twin. I want to see my soulmate. I want to be with her. I want to spend time with her. I need to recharge. And that's really what's in my heart right now. So with that being said, in regards to my plans for the future, it's still in pause. I do have a variety of plans, a variety of where I want to go, what I want to do, but right now everything's on hold, and I'm just relaxing. It's a time to relax. It's a time to just take a seat back and learn to be the observer of your life. That is how we truly learn. It's not so much of other people's mistakes. It's not so much of, oh, this is what he did, that's what he did, and look at what happened because he did that or she did that. No, you're not going to learn anything. You'll learn a little bit, but you're not going to learn what you really need to learn for yourself. So to me, it's more about, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do when that person did that? Instead of pointing the finger, oh, this person did this person did that. I mean, a lot of people do that. It's normal. A lot of people do that, but it's a bad habit. I'm already letting you know it's a bad habit. You should be looking at yourself, and I like to remind myself every day, just look at the mirror. If you're pissed at somebody and you're angry at someone, just look at the mirror, look at yourself, and ask yourself, how should I have? Am I dealing with this the right way? Do I have really the right to get mad? Is my reason for getting mad right? Am I right or am I wrong? Really. So then you have an understanding that, okay, this is the situation, and if there's nothing wrong that I did, and if I'm really right for being right and for acting the way I did or said the things that I did, then you know that it's not you, it's them, right? But see, you have to look at it with humbleness. You have to look at it with an open mind, not with a mentality of really just pinpointing at a person like, you did this, you did that, or it's so toxic. I find it toxic. I don't have patience for that. But again, everybody's in this journey to learn. So hopefully this tells you guys a little bit about me, a little bit about, my background and my love story, and I'll continue with the next video. But anyway, I love you guys. God bless.